Have you ever wondered why some older adults seem perfectly fine at 78, but by 81, something shifts? They were sharp, active, and independent, then suddenly, it feels like life begins to dim. Most people think it's just genetics or luck, but that's not the full picture. What really happens after 80 is often the result of silent, slow-moving forces that no one talks about, and that's exactly what this video will reveal. We're not here to repeat the usual health tips about eating better, quitting smoking, or exercising more. No, we're going deeper. Today, we'll explore 5 unexpected reasons, quiet but powerful, that often determine whether someone thrives past 80 or quietly begins to fade. Even if they've done everything right, these hidden factors often sneak past doctors, family, and even the person themselves. But once you know what they are, you'll realize it's not too late to change your path. So if you're curious about what truly disrupts longevity after 80 and how to guard yourself against it, stay with me until the end. Because what you'll discover here might help you age not just longer, but with strength, clarity, and a deeper sense of purpose. Number 1, loss of microsocial engagement. One of the most subtle but powerful reasons many older adults begin to decline after the age of 80 is the gradual disappearance of tiny, everyday social moments, the kind we barely notice but deeply need. These aren't your big family gatherings or lifelong friendships, though those are important too. What we're talking about here are the little interactions that used to fill your day without effort, waving to the neighbor across the street, chatting with the barista at your local coffee shop, making small talk with the mail carrier, or even just smiling at a stranger during your morning walk. Over time, these micro-interactions quietly fade. Maybe you no longer go out to shop in person, preferring the convenience of deliveries, maybe cold weather, acting joints, or trouble with hearing makes you less inclined to strike up conversation. Maybe it just feels easier to stay home. But here's what most people don't realize. These seemingly insignificant connections were doing something profound. They were regulating your nervous system, reinforcing your identity, keeping your brain's social circuits sharp, and quietly reminding your body that it's still part of the world. I once knew a man in his 80s who remained mentally sharp and emotionally grounded. His secret: he walked to the same cafe every morning, greeted the same staff, exchanged nods with the same people on his route. That 5-minute ritual wasn't just routine, it was lifeblood. It gave structure to his day, accountability to his presence, and recognition to his spirit. When those little connections vanish, something else vanishes too. Vitality. And the loss isn't just emotional, it's biological. The brain interprets loneliness, even the quiet kind, as a form of stress. This leads to elevated cortisol, increased inflammation, weakened immune response, and over time, deterioration in areas of the brain tied to memory, mood, and attention. What's especially dangerous is how silently this happens. Most people believe they're simply simplifying life, cutting out unnecessary errands or chatter, but in reality, they're also cutting out the very experiences that send signals to the brain that they're still alive, still needed, still part of something greater. So ask yourself, have you stopped making small talk with people during your day? Do you avoid running quick errands that used to give you a reason to go out? Do you feel a little more invisible than you used to? If so, this isn't just about loneliness, it's about survival. Even a 5-minute human connection can help restore the body's sense of relevance and rhythm. And the good news, it doesn't require a big change. Just one smile, one hello, one short conversation at a time, because those small, quiet moments, they're not forgettable. They're vital signals to your heart, your mind, and your body that say, you still matter. Number 2, overcautious inactivity. One hidden reason many seniors begin to lose strength and vitality after turning 80 isn't illness or injury, it's the habit of becoming too careful. It often starts with the best intentions trying to avoid harm, But sometimes, in trying to stay safe, we unknowingly stop living. Maybe it begins after a minor scare, a near fall on the stairs, a wobble on uneven ground, or trouble getting up from a low seat. So, you begin to adjust. You stop going on your regular walks. You avoid bending, reaching, or climbing into the back seat of the car. You sit more and stay sitting longer. Loved ones may encourage this cautiousness. Don't push yourself. They say, better safe than sorry. And while their care is genuine, the outcome can be harmful. Over time, your days become keyter. Your movements fewer. You're no longer moving less because of pain, but because of fear. And here's the truth: when movement stops, so does strength. Not just in your arms or legs, but in your balance, coordination, and stability. Your body isn't like a machine that benefits from rest. It's more like a garden that thrives on regular tending. Without daily motion, it begins to weaken. The core, those deep abdominal and back muscles, is often the first to suffer. These muscles are essential for simple tasks: getting up from a chair, walking steadily, or reaching without falling. When they go unused, they shrink. And when they shrink, your risk of falling actually increases. It becomes a cycle. Fear leads to stillness, and stillness leads to fragility. I once met a man named Alan, 81, who used to walk every evening. One rainy day, he slipped on wet leaves, not seriously, just enough to rattle him. After that, he stopped walking. Within 6 months, he had lost more than 10 pounds of muscle, and he struggled with stairs. He once climbed easily. He didn't become weak because of age. He became weak because he stopped moving. That's why it's important to recognize the difference between being careful and becoming inactive. Smart safety steps are helpful. Use handrails, wear stable shoes, and keep your walkways clear. But don't let fear silently steal your strength. So, ask yourself gently, am I moving less because I must, or because I'm afraid of what might happen? Because staying alive and well after 80 isn't only about avoiding risk, it's about staying engaged. Movement, even small daily motion, is how your body remembers it's still needed. It keeps your systems active, your mind alert, and your spirit strong. If this second reason speaks to you, please comment number 2 below. Just those 2 words tell me you're here, thinking, reflecting, and still committed to living well. And if you feel like sharing more, what small, gentle movement will you bring back into your daily life this week? Your response might give someone else the courage to rise and begin again. If this message encouraged you, please like the video, subscribe, and turn on the bell. Your support helps us keep making content that matters for your life, your health, and your journey. Number 3, disrupted sleep cycles from irregular light exposure. Inside your body is a powerful but silent rhythm keeper. Your internal clock. It doesn't tick like a watch, but it influences nearly every part of your well-being: your energy, your mood, your memory, your digestion, and even how your brain heals during sleep. After the age of 80, this natural clock, known as your circadian rhythm, becomes much more delicate. Small shifts in your daily routine, especially involving light, can throw it off balance more than you might expect. One of the most common triggers, a lack of bright natural light during the day and too much artificial light at night. It may start so subtly that you don't even notice. Perhaps you've begun to nap more during the day. Maybe you rarely go outside, especially in winter. You might watch television into the late hours or scroll through your phone in bed. These habits seem harmless, but together, they confuse your body about when it should be awake and when it should be winding down. The body was designed to follow the sun. Morning light signals your brain to wake up, activate your metabolism, and release energy-boosting hormones. As the day fades, Natural darkness tells your brain to release melatonin, a calming chemical that helps you fall into deep, restorative sleep. But when you stay indoors with the curtains closed, or fill your evenings with screen time and bright lights, your brain stops receiving those essential signals. It doesn't know when to turn on or off, and over time, your sleep becomes shallow, inconsistent, and less healing. The consequences can be surprising. You might wake up feeling groggy. Even after a full night in bed, you may feel foggy, irritable, or emotionally drained during the day. Your memory may feel less reliable, and your immune system may start to weaken, opening the door to illness and fatigue. There's also another layer. Sunlight helps your skin produce vitamin D, a key nutrient for bone strength, muscle function, and immunity. After 80, your ability to synthesize vitamin D naturally declines. That means getting outside and absorbing light isn't just beneficial, it's essential. I remember a woman named Marjorie who was 87 and had been feeling increasingly tired and out of sorts. Her tests came back normal. Her medications hadn't changed. Then her doctor gave her a simple suggestion: sit by a sunny window for 20 minutes every morning and turn off all screens 1 hour before going to bed. She followed it, and within 2 weeks, her sleep deepened. Her thinking became clearer. Her mood lifted. No pills, just light. That's the power of rhythm. And the good news is, you don't need complicated fixes to restore it. If your days are spent indoors and your nights are filled with screens and bright lights, try making a gentle shift. Step outside within an hour of waking up, even if only for 5 minutes. Let that daylight reach your eyes and skin. At night, dim the lights. Power down the electronics. Let your body ease into rest. These tiny rituals don't just help you sleep. They restore your body's inner harmony. They remind your system this is morning. This is night. You're still in rhythm. Because aging isn't only about wear and tear, it's also about disconnection. When you reclaim your natural rhythm, your body listens. Even at 87, you can say with confidence, we're still on schedule. We're still in motion. We're still here. Please comment number 3 below if this message about sleep and light resonated with you. Sometimes, just typing those 2 words is enough to tell the community I'm here. I'm learning, and I'm making changes. And if you'd like to take it further, tell us what's one small thing you'll do tomorrow morning to greet the light. Your answer might inspire someone else to step outside too. If this helped you, please like, subscribe, and tap the bell. Your support helps us continue creating thoughtful, healing content for your journey ahead. Number 4, emotional suppression from loss and isolation. By the time someone reaches their 80s, they've likely endured more emotional loss than most people care to imagine. A partner, a sibling, a lifelong friend, sometimes even a child. And while society offers polite condolences, what often goes unspoken is how these accumulated sorrows don't just live in memories, they live in the body. What unfolds after 80 isn't always obvious heartbreak. More often, it's a gradual emotional shutting down, a habit of suppressing pain rather than expressing it. Many older adults begin to believe that grief should be something they've learned to handle by now. Some think there's no one left who would truly understand. So they put on a smile, say they're fine, and move through each day quietly carrying a storm they never let out. But here's what the body knows and remembers. Unexpressed grief doesn't dissolve. It doesn't disappear with time. It settles deep inside, affecting the immune system, disrupting digestion, distorting sleep cycles, and placing the nervous system into a chronic low-grade tension. And the hardest part, it's invisible. From the outside, everything may seem normal. But inside, the weight builds in the chest, in the shoulders, in the breath. You might not feel like yourself anymore. The sparkle that once defined your presence may begin to dim. I once knew a man named Douglas. who was 87 when he lost his wife of 65 years. He told everyone he was doing fine, that he didn't cry because that's just how I am. But over the next several months, he lost nearly 15 pounds, withdrew from his social group, and had difficulty sleeping. Not because of illness, but because his body was holding on to grief that had never been allowed to speak. You see, emotional pain doesn't need to be dramatic to be damaging. And by the time it shows up as a health issue, the connection is often overlooked. What sustains vitality beyond age 80 isn't just a strong heart or a clear mind. It's the ability to release what's heavy, to feel, to speak, to remember without judgment, saying things like, I miss her, I still feel hurt, or I feel lonely, and having someone listen is not weakness. It's medicine. That kind of emotional ventilation is how the heart breathes again. And when the heart breathes, the body begins to heal. Many people who age well have some kind of emotional outlet, a confidant, a journal, a place of worship, a support group, a counselor. The method may differ, but the principle stays the same. What gets expressed can be transformed. What stays buried can slowly break you down. If you've been holding something in, not because you wanted to, but because you didn't know where to put it, maybe now is the time to make room. Not just for your feelings, but for your life. Because here's the truth, the heart can only carry so much before it quietly begins to shut down. If you want to live well beyond 80, not just alive, but fully alive, you must let yourself feel again. If this part of the video touched something inside you, please comment number 4 below. That simple gesture tells me and others that you're still here, still feeling, still searching for meaning. And if you're open to sharing more, what's one emotion you've been carrying silently that deserves to be spoken or written down this week? Your answer might be the light someone else has been waiting for. If this message resonated, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss content that supports your health, healing, and inner peace. Number 5, gradual loss of daily purpose. One of the most overlooked reasons many people struggle to thrive past the age of 80 isn't physical or even emotional. It's the gradual fading of something we often take for granted, a reason to begin each day. Not a grand life mission, not a dramatic bucket list, but the simple, quiet kind of purpose, the kind that gives structure to a Tuesday morning or meaning to a Thursday afternoon. Daily purpose can be anything: feeding the birds at sunrise, tending to a window garden, calling a friend just to say hello, fixing a squeaky drawer that no one else notices. It doesn't have to be impressive. It just has to be yours. But when those little routines begin to slip away, maybe after an injury, a loss, or a move, days start to lose their shape. Mornings come without urgency. Evenings arrive without reflection. And somewhere in that stillness, something inside the body quietly begins to dim. It's not immediate. It's not dramatic. That's why it's dangerous. You tell yourself it's just aging, that it's normal to slow down, but then the walks stop, then the projects wait, then the appetite wanes, then the sleep breaks, and slowly, the body stops acting like a body that's needed. You see, our biology listens, and when the mind no longer expects activity, the systems that keep us alive begin to power down, not because they're broken, but because they think they're no longer necessary. I remember meeting a man named Arthur, 89 years old. He wasn't particularly rich. He wasn't in perfect shape, but he had this spark that made everyone around him feel more awake. Why? Because every weekday morning at exactly 9:30, Arthur sharpened a pencil and sat at his kitchen table to write postcards, one per day, to a list of people he had collected over the years. Old coworkers, neighbors who had moved away, a cousin's grandchild. On Fridays, he took a short walk to deliver a sandwich and a smile to a widowed friend down the street. Every Sunday, he sat on his porch and waved to each dog walker with the same cheerful salute. He had names for most of the dogs, even if he didn't know their owners. These were not big things, but they were his things. And they gave his life a rhythm that his heart followed. That's what no one tells you. Your body stays alive longer when it believes it's still being asked to show up. That belief that you're still relevant is what keeps your cells repairing, your mind alert, your heart beating not just out of habit, but out of hope. If lately your days have started to blur together, if you've caught yourself wondering, what's the point? Don't ignore that question. It's not weakness. It's a whisper from your spirit, asking for structure, for meaning, for connection. Because the truth is, longevity isn't about just surviving another year. It's about wanting to greet the next sunrise with open eyes and a reason to rise. If this part resonated with you, please comment number 5 below. It's a simple way to say I'm still here. I still care. I still want to matter. And if you're comfortable, share this. What is one small habit that still gives your day a little spark? Your answer might help someone else reignite their own. If you found this video meaningful, please like, subscribe, and turn on the bell. Your support helps us bring more content that nourishes the heart and strengthens the will to live fully at every age. As we close this video, I want to leave you with something quietly powerful. For most people, aging after 80 isn't marked by one dramatic event. It's not a sudden illness or a birthday that changes everything. It's the quiet erosion of daily meaning, the slow fading of routines, movement, laughter, and reasons to stay connected. And often, this decline is so gradual, you don't even notice it until one day, you wake up and something inside feels less alive. But here's the hope. Just as the fading happens slowly, so can the healing. One gentle stretch when you wake up. One 5-minute walk outside just to feel the breeze. One real conversation with someone who listens. One small act that reminds your body and your heart, I'm still here. You still matter. You don't need to change everything at once. You just need to choose one thing, anything that brings structure, connection, or a sense of purpose back into your day. Now think back to the 5 hidden reasons we explored together. Was there one that surprised you, one that felt a little too familiar, and more importantly, which one are you ready to face and gently shift? Starting today. Because here's the truth, you may not have control over getting older, but you do have the power to shape how you experience it. When you stay aware of small shifts, protect your rhythms, and allow yourself to feel you don't just survive your 80s, you live them on your terms, with clarity, with courage, and with care. If this message resonated with you, please leave a comment below sharing what still matters to you right now. Your reflections could inspire someone else who needs hope today. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and turn on the bell. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful content that honors aging with dignity and wisdom. Thank you for being here. We look forward to seeing you in the next one.